This drawing is for my book Unfamiliar. In the Kickstarter for this book, which is still going on if you're listening to this within a couple weeks of me posting it, one of the options that people can choose, a certain reward level, allows them to put their dog or their pet, whatever it is, into the book. I just got to find a place for it. Well, this fellow here, Kevin, he's got a 200-pound English Mastiff named George, and he wants to put him in the book. So it can be a challenge to try and draw someone's own pet, just like it's hard to draw someone's own child. But you can do it. You just have to pay real close attention to the coat patterns. If you can match the certain little variations in the texture of the fur, a certain way the color works over the face, then you're good. Other than that, don't obsess about, his legs are a little longer or anything like that. You just draw the best animal you can and then try to adapt it to their specific face. You can see once I finished the dog, I put in this armor. I brought in a reference image for that. The idea is to have like leather armor. Something that would work though, right? I mean, I can't just stick normal human leather armor. I have to adapt it. Think about how the animal's gonna move. Give it some fur trim. So right now I'm inking it. Perhaps my favorite part of the process is going over this with that ink, because then all the little sketchy lines and things that I don't like, they all go away, and it's only the very best that's left over. Now it's time to fill it in, right? So now I'm going to color it. First, you can see we're sticking to black and white here. I want to figure out the values. Right, because I want the lights and the darks next to each other to be different enough. And once I'm happy with the values, that there's a decent jump from one thing to the adjacent thing, then I can worry about coloring them. So I'll start a new layer. I'm working on Procreate on my iPad. And I'm just coloring. So I'm not, aside from a little bit in the fur, I'm really not changing the values. I'm just changing the color of those values. Now I'm going in and adding texture. So, well, actually I moved on to shadows. Missed the texture part. So I use one layer of shadow. Now I'm doing highlights. That looks pretty good. Need to add a little more highlight into the leather. A little bit of refinement there. And there we go. Just adding a little bit of a reflected light, a little bit of a kicker light. It really makes things pop. Maybe there's some sort of source of purple light coming from the other direction that shows up only in the shadows. Always a nice touch. So there you go. There's George, the English Mastiff, the war dog.